When you think of superpowers, you might first think of people like the X-Men or the Fantastic Four, but while those guys certainly don't exist, we do have some people in the world with some amazing genetic differences that are very advantageous, really cool, or downright interesting. These abilities some people have may not be as cool as Wolverine, but they sure might be called superpowers. There have been quite a few humans with superpowers, so that's why we're bringing you 7 humans with real-life superpowers. And if you want to feel heroic yourself, go ahead and click the subscribe button down below to keep up to date on all of our trending content. So let's get into it. Michel Lotito was a French entertainer known as Mr. Eats-All. Throughout his career, Michel consumed all manner of non-consumable objects made of glass, rubber, metal, and much more. One of his most impressive feats was consuming an entire airplane, which he ate in small pieces over the course of multiple years. Michel appears to suffer from a condition known as pica, a disorder characterized by the appetite for non-consumable foods like dirt, rocks, and metals. But what makes Michel truly superpowered is his abnormally thick lining in his stomach and intestines that makes it possible for him to eat sharp, metal objects and consume toxic chemicals, which would just about kill any other person. If you're an American, then you're probably familiar with the hot dog eating contest that happens every year around the 4th of July, a crazy large event that many people flock to and watch on TV as plenty of contenders from all over to eat as many hot dogs as possible. One such contender is Taku Kobayashi, a man who at one time held the world record for hot dog eating. Kobayashi has a crazy genetic trait that actually has his stomach hanging lower than most people. That doesn't seem like an advantage at first, but it has also allowed his stomach to expand upwards, and allows him to pack in more food than a normal person would. It certainly helped with his many wins in this competition. Next on our list is someone you probably don't know the name of, but someone you might have seen in a movie. Xavier Bo Ted has been in many movies, everything from the remake of The Mummy to the Mexican horror film REC and another film called Mama. These all have a monster who is able to contort into scary shapes, and it's not CGI like you would think. Xavier has a genetic abnormality called Marfan syndrome, where he can flex his body into different shapes. Some cases can be life-threatening, but his condition is just mild enough to not have any deadly outcomes, and so he just reaps the benefits of this condition. Partying, doing drugs, smoking, and tons of drinking can be a real hazard for most people. So many possible illnesses, cancers, addictions can occur, which is why it's perplexing that Ozzy Osbourne is still very much alive. That's not only surprising, but what also is surprising is that the old Ozzy might actually have a gene that assists him in all of that. In fact, he had his genome sequenced, and it was found that he might have some gene variants that were located around the section of his genes usually regarded as having to deal with alcoholism and other vices. It's hard to believe, but I guess Ozzy just had a predisposition to party. Most people are born with 5 fingers and 5 toes on each limb. However, there is a genetic difference that occasionally happens called polydactyly that actually has people with more than the base amount. Most people just go through life just fine and regular, but some people like MLB star Antonio Alfonseca may be using it to their advantage. A star known for his killer pitch will be able to generate a bit more power behind his pitch because he has 6 fingers on both hands. Affected by the same genetic condition of polydactyly, it hasn't been proven if it's made his pitches better, but it's very possible indeed and may make him one of the best pitchers in the world. Imagine trying to travel from different countries, but being stopped in your tracks by a condition out of your control. A Swiss woman experienced this, and it's not what you may think. Most places in the world require fingerprints to enter countries, but what if you don't have fingerprints? Yes, there are some people born without them who have the condition Oblivia. While this would have been the lamest superpower because it would get in your way a lot, if someone was a criminal, this might actually be the best genetic or superpowered condition to have if you were attempting to stay off the grid for whatever reason indeed. Now imagine another genetic condition that would also help in sports. One of the biggest assists in sports would be if someone could have more oxygen in their bloodstream. It just so happens to be a real thing though. Finnish Olympic skiing champion Matti Ranta may have been the first Finnish sportsman to test positive for hormone doping, but he probably didn't need to since he had genetic super endurance powers. Along with other members of his extended family, Matti Ranta had a condition resulting from a mutation in a certain receptor gene. This resulted in the ability to carry 50% more oxygen to his bloodstream, a trait that is quite advantageous in endurance competitions. While they aren't Spider-Man or the Avengers, there are some people in the world with conditions that certainly can be considered superpowers to some degree, especially when compared to their contemporaries in certain fields. We do hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, have a great one.